What is going on, everyone? Coming at you today with our last video of this no equipment bodyweight only series of exercises. We've already done upper and lower body, so make sure you click on the link that comes up here to check out those other videos. So today we're working on the core, and when people think core, a lot of people just think about their abs, but that's not it. We got obliques, we got back core, front core, side core, we got all this stuff, but also things that involve the hip structure and the shoulder blade structure. We will work some pretty hard, challenging variations. However, we're not going to use any equipment, like I said. There will be some very challenging exercises like sit-up variations and some like plank, rotation variations, stuff like that. That can be very, very challenging for a lot of people. But if you're already in a pretty higher intermediate level of strength, you will be eventually needing some equipment to make things even more challenging for yourself. So make sure you stay tuned on future videos with harder examples of core exercises using equipment. For today, if you cannot do a solid plank and side planks for 1 minute, and then you probably need to do that first and then come back to this. Okay, if you hold your plank and your lower back is sagging down like this, instead of being like this, then you need to be going back to just that, focus on that every day, work up to 1 minute solid, and then you can go into more harder ab exercises. Or if your side plank looks like this, where you're like arching a lot, you're facing upwards, instead of being able to crunch, feeling the obliques here, notice I have a straight line through my body, so I'm showing you the video here like this. You need to do that side plank, working it, be able to hold it 1 minute straight, solid, not sagging, not letting your spine take pressure, but actually using those obliques to hold it. Notice I had my top leg forward when I did that one. It's a lot better also for the position. Now, before I show you the exercises here today, I usually will post how many sets and reps I recommend for each exercise. These, I'm just going to tell you kind of like the time frames or reps that I would focus on personally or have my clients focus on because I don't really believe too much on having a specific core date on its own for your training routine. You should be putting this between your upper and lower body exercises. That way you're a little more efficient with your training time. Unless you are training like 6-7 days a week, then you probably can't have one specific core day. So the first one here is going to be a frog sit-up. Now what's so special about the frog sit-up than a regular sit-up? When we do regular sit-ups, our hip flexors right here, they kick in a lot. So if I were to drive my knee up, that's my hip flexor working quite a bit more instead of my abs. What I want to do is work the abs, right? Get the six-pack muscles. So the soles of the shoes go together. They stay close to the hips here. They stay down, legs stay down. Now, when I do my sit-up, hands can be here under the chin, and they can reach forward as I sit up. Okay, that's variation number 1. Variation number 2, if that's too hard, you can't come all the way up, you do this. You didn't go anywhere. Then we bring the arms up. We use a little assistance on the way up. So the less I throw my arms forward, the more those abs are going to kick in. So that way, if you start with the hands here under the chin, then we're going to have the least amount of momentum to help carry us up. So when we do this sit-ups, we want to do a little bit lower reps here. If you're starting to get into those 20 to 30 reps on the sit-ups, you can add even weight or take the arm swing out of it. Or you can go for speed as well. Just go 1 minute, as many as you can on the sit-ups. So the next exercise is going to be a plank rotation. Now we're going to get into those obliques quite a bit more, and this is why I tell you in the beginning of the video to be able to do those plank and side planks just for 1 minute solid by themselves in order to be able to progress with things like this. Our one position is going to be our side plank, top leg is forward, and our other position is going to be our plank butt cheek squeeze. We don't want to lose the the spine in that. So you always want to keep thinking, tuck your tailbone to the face. So imagine you're a sat puppy, you have your tail tucked like this, you're a sat puppy. So I want you to think about that position like that. So we start in our plank, feet apart, squeeze tight. I'm going to lift one arm off the floor first. Notice how my body did not move. Now I slowly turn back. Other arm off the floor, body still. Slowly turn back. A lot of people are going to do this. Dump, and then bring the arm out. Dump, then bring the arm out. That's not going to train anything in the core at all. So don't do that, but don't waste your time. If you cannot control that plank rotation really well, the slower the better, then you're not here at this level yet. Then you need to go back and be able to hold those planks and side planks really well. Now the second variation of this one, same concept of rotating, but now we're getting the shoulder and hip involved a lot more because remember I said this is your core from here to here. We're starting quadruped, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. One hand comes up, opposite foot comes up. Very, very slowly. I'm going to turn, and I'm just going to finish here sideways. I'm going to go all the way, chest up, come back. I'm pivoting on the toes. Now I switch. I lift first, so I haven't moved my body. Then I start slowly moving all the way around. And I come back. Alright, so the slower we go on this, the better. So we go from a crab position, switching into like a low bear crawl position. Just go for reps, 3 to 5 reps each side. That's slow, how I showed it. It's going to be very, very demanding and challenging on the body. If you can do that, then hey, you're ready to move on to something else, something harder. Alright, so this next one is going to be a line leg raise. I'm going to show you 2 variations. First the easier one and then the harder one. So here for the easier variation, we start with the legs bent all the way, feet just off the ground. Do not let the legs straighten at all. So this calf and the hamstring should always be touching. Hands on the floor. I'm going to bring my knees to my chest and bring the hips off the floor. And that's it. Notice I'm going down, back, or back down slowly and smoothly. And I'm also not bringing the hips all the way out. When people do this type of exercise, they do this. Now I lost tension in my abs. There's no tension here on my abs that I really want to work when I do that. So you just got to come up a few inches and then back down. Now if you can't control that smoothly, you could try with your hands underneath you, so it helps you by decreasing the range of motion a little bit. Okay? The second variation, legs are straight. Now we want to make sure the rib cage is down, lower back is pressing to the floor the whole time. Now the really cool thing about this one is you can make this really tough. Start by going straight up vertical, and then hips off the floor. I lower, hips off the floor. And how we keep making this harder is the angle of the legs. So the legs closer to the floor when I lift, the harder that's going to be. Okay, the next exercise, we are going to do a star hold. That's going to be for everything we don't see in the mirror, so that's going to be our back core. Now you're probably familiar with our Superman hold. You're lying face down, you're bringing your arms and legs up to work all the erectors of the spine. It's very similar, except here, we're going to be pushing against the floor to make things a lot more challenging. So I'm just going to turn my watch around. So I'm lying down and opening up like a star. Now here, the legs are wide, try to keep them pointing straight up, not outwards too much. Palms are facing up, out like a T, maybe a little higher is fine. Now first, we squeeze the shoulder blades together, then butt cheeks are clenched together. And now I'm driving the hands and the heels into the floor as hard as I can. I'm trying with all my strength to lift my body off the floor. I can even press the back of the head into the ground here, because we can still work all those upper back muscles here by driving into that. So I'm trying to lift my hips, my lower back, my mid back, and my upper back off the floor. Obviously I cannot get my upper back off the floor because that's really hard and not that strong. Alright, so guys, this is the last exercise of the video. We're going to be doing some sprinter sit-ups. Now if you've been liking the exercises so far, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification button somewhere over here to make sure you get notified of the next videos that come out. So sprinter sit-ups are one of my personal favorites. I learned it from one of my coaching mentors, and this is very athletic movement. Now if you can't do the regular sit-ups, even the frog sit-ups with the hands really using the momentum there, then this was probably going to be a little too challenging. So go back to those other ones, get strong there before you come back to this one. But the sprinter sit-up, we're lying face up, legs are straight, arms are bent here. Now the arms are going to stay bent. I'm going to sit up. As I sit up, one knee comes up towards my chest, opposite arm goes forward, and then my free arm, or not the free arm, the other arm is going to be going back. So it looks like I'm sprinting. I come back down, come up, arm switch. Okay? Against opposite arm and leg come together in front of you, other arm goes back. So we're getting this rotation component as well as the sit-up. Now for this one, it's called a sprinter sit-up, so we're supposed to go fast. So I would set 30 seconds to 1 minute of time frame, see how many you can get. If you really want to push this and test yourself, maybe 2 minutes. But every time come down, touch the shoulder blades down, and I'm shooting myself right back down. Every time, going for speed, coming all the way up. Alright everyone, so that is it for today. Much shorter workout, much shorter video, because like I said, put these between your other workouts. You know, don't just do a core only day in your workout. You can do a lot more when you're mixing things up. If calorie burning is one of your goals for your workouts, you can definitely be doing some sprints, some other like kettlebell swings or whatever, and then throw some core work in between, or throw core work exercise in between your strength work for your upper and lower body. So mix it in, that way you're getting more efficient throughout your workouts instead of just wasting time. So make sure you stay tuned for our next video coming at you. Until then, train smart and train hard.